Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Wave Podcast, episode 5. In this episode, we're going to be predicting the second round of the NBA playoffs, naming the top 3 names that could dethrone John Cena for the WWE Championship, and reacting to the New Orleans Saints draft class. We got a lot to talk about, so without any further ado, let's hop right into it. So I know I'm a little late on the NBA playoffs, but since I've been watching the first round, it is very evident to me that the Oklahoma City Thunder are the team to beat. I do think the Celtics are going to make it to the NBA Finals, and they're going to pose a threat to anybody that's there, but OKC is probably the best team in this playoffs. They wouldn't say that they dominated the Grizzlies, but when you sweep somebody in the first round, it's always very impressive. Because the playoffs, they're intense. It's when you get the best play from every single player on a roster. And OKC, they're on another level. Plus, they had extra rest, too, since they have to play the Nuggets, who just came out of a 7-game series, which was probably one of the better first-round series that we have seen in a very long time. So, Thunder versus Nuggets. I've got the Thunder winning in 6. I think we're going to get 2 games from Nikola Jokic where he just puts the team on his back and carries them to a victory. Very hard-fought victory. But I think at the end of the day, Oklahoma City is just going to be too much for them. Oklahoma's just going to hound Nikola, force him to make decisions that he's not very comfortable making. And at the end of the series, he's just going to be worn out. He's going to be tired. Like, the whole offensive load is going to be on him throughout the whole series. He's going to have to, like I said, carry these guys to the finish line, and it's just going to be too much for him to handle. So I'm going to give them 2 games, but I do think OKC is going to come out of that series and go to the Western Conference Finals. The next series is Wolves versus Warriors. And I do have to say, the Minnesota Timberwolves kind of shocked me. They won in 5 games against the Los Angeles Lakers, and I'll say very convincingly. The Lakers' biggest flaw is that there is no big man on that team. Plus, Austin Reeves had a horrible series. He was just terrible. Just awful. Was not the Austin Reeves that we saw later on in the season. But the Wolves exploited that flaw to a T. And now they're in the position that they are in right now. But they're going against a team that's not a pushover team in the Golden State Warriors. I will say this about Golden State, though. If Curry is not having an historical night, this team is very vulnerable. You could almost say the same thing for the Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards, but I think Anthony Edwards at this time is more reliable than Stephen Curry. I'm not saying that Stephen Curry is washed or anything like that, but just watching the first round series against Houston, there was times where Curry was just not good. You can look at Game 6 in the fourth quarter. He shot terribly. I'm pretty sure he shot like 39% from the field in the fourth quarter. Just horrendous. Not something that we're used to seeing from Stephen Curry. And I think if the Timberwolves get anything like that, they're going to exploit that for sure. In this series, though, I trust Anthony Edwards to get the Timberwolves past the Warriors, but I think it's going to be a 7-game series. I think both teams are going to throw haymakers at each other every single game. It's going to be a hard-fought defensive series from both sides. But I do think that Anthony Edwards is going to come up big like he does every single time in every big moment, and he is going to power the Timberwolves to the Western Conference Finals. Now, we've already saw game one of this series between the Cavs and the Pacers, where the Pacers came out with the victory. Now, this kind of shocked me a little bit. Indiana, I would say, has probably been the best offense, probably the second best offense since the All-Star break. And it showed in this game. Tyrese Halliburton was by far the best player on that court, without a doubt. The Cavs have to figure out how they can make Tyrese Halliburton uncomfortable. And I think you have to blitz him as soon as he comes off through the half-court line. You've got to put him in situations where he's not very comfortable at. And I think if you blitz him, he's going to get very uncomfortable. With that being said, though, Tyrese Halliburton is one of the best decision makers in the league. So put him in that situation may not be the most viable option, but I think it is the best way to try to make him uncomfortable. I think Tyrese Halliburton has grown tremendously in big game, big opportunity moments. But I do think the Cavs will come out of this series heading into the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they do take them out in 6. I think they do take them out in 6 for sure. But I do want to say this, though. Just because the Indiana Pacers don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals in these playoffs does not mean that this team right now is better than last year's team. This team by far is 100% better than last year's team, just by the way that their offense is flowing. For the past 2 years, Tyrese Halliburton has been the head front of 2 of the greatest offenses that we've seen in Indiana Pacer history. With that being said, though, the Cavs are going to be too much for them to handle. The Cavs will move on in 6 games. Last, but certainly not least, the Knicks versus Celtics. This is going to be a very hyped up matchup. Knicks versus Celtics. During the regular season, the Celtics have had the Knicks' number. And I don't think that's going to change in the playoffs. You could just tell, like, watching them in the regular season, that the Celtics know how to make Cat very uncomfortable. They can force him into settling, like just taking jump shots, not even trying to go into the paint, try to work a post move. But I will say this, though. Jalen Brunson is still very good against this Boston Celtics team. But I think he has to be better. I know that's hard for him to do because, I mean, what else is he supposed to do? He's supposed to have these 3-and-D guys around him, but for some reason when they're playing the Boston Celtics, they're just not performing at a level that you want them to. So in order for the Knicks to get past the Celtics, I think Jalen Brunson is going to have like a 2018 LeBron James type series or a Michael Jordan-esque type series to even get past this Celtics team. And even then, that probably won't even be enough. So my prediction is that the Celtics are going to beat this team in 5. There's no way that the Knicks can overcome this Celtics team, who I think got better. This team, and you can go to my TikTok and look at the very first video where I predict that this team is probably going to go back-to-back. And I still do believe that. But this team is just head and shoulders above everybody in the East. I mean, I don't think it really mattered who the Celtics were even going to match up with. They can match up with the Cavs right now, and I would probably pick the Celtics to win in 5. That's just how good this team is. You would be dumb to pick against them. That's like picking against OKC in the West. It's just dumb. So my prediction is the Celtics will win in 5 games, and they will make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now let's get into the top 3 names who I think might dethrone John Cena for the WWE Championship. Now we're going to go from most likely to less likely. Starting off with most likely Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, obviously, he's probably going to come back wanting to right his wrong for almost costing the WWE Championship and almost letting John Cena ruin wrestling. Also, sidebar, I'm going to go to Backlash this Saturday. So be on the lookout for my TikTok at The Wave Pod. That way you can see us vlog during the day and all that. But back to the video. I think Cody Rhodes will do it. Possibly at SummerSlam. There's been rumors that him and Bad Bunny are going to team up to take on John Cena and Travis Scott. Cool, I guess. I don't know. I guess it would be kind of cool to see how Travis Scott would do in a WWE ring, but I think it should be Cody Rhodes versus John Cena to headline SummerSlam. That's just me. But most likely is Cody Rhodes will dethrone John Cena for the WWE Championship. The second name I have on here is Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins has the most momentum behind him right now to put himself in that conversation to defeat John Cena for the WWE Championship, especially now that he has this new stable that he is creating with Paul Heyman. I don't think they've added a third member yet. I think it should be Austin Theory like everybody else. I think that would be cool to have Austin Theory there. But Seth Rollins being the second guy here, I think it's time for Seth Rollins to have another run with the WWE Championship. I think it's been too long for Seth Rollins to not have another run with the WWE Championship. I think when Seth Rollins had the WWE Championship, it almost had like this aura feel to it. I hate using that word. It just felt right. It felt like the right thing at the time. So, a fun little one right there. Seth Rollins could be a possible name to dethrone John Cena for the WWE Championship. Who knows? Now, the least likely one, but I think you'll understand why I will say this name, is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, let me explain. I think Dwayne's going to convince, this is just my little theory, I think The Rock is going to convince John Cena to extend his time frame so that way those two can meet one last time at WrestleMania 42. But the way that The Rock is going to do it, he's going to betray John Cena. Because if you think about when Cody Rhodes won the WWE title, the next night on Raw, him and Cody had like this awkward promo in the middle of the ring where they swapped titles. And you could just see when Rock was holding the title, he like stared at it a little bit longer. I think that is the main reason why The Rock wanted Cena to sell his soul to him so that way he could use Cena to get a title opportunity. That's just my theory. I would like to see it. I know a lot of other people would like to see it. I think that would be a pretty fun way to have John Cena lose the WWE Championship. But those are my top 3 names. Let me know who you think might also have a good chance of defeating John Cena for the WWE title. Now let's get to the part where I'm dreading the most, reacting to the New Orleans Saints 2025 NFL draft class. Oh boy. The first round pick was Kelvin Banks Jr., who is a good pick. That's for sure. I really like Kelvin Banks Jr. I think he's going to impact this offensive line right off the bat. For sure. Big body guy, somebody who can protect your quarterback. He kind of got a little exposed in the Georgia game, but he was dealing with injuries. So, I mean, you really can't fault him on that. But I do like the pick of Kelvin Banks Jr., adding a little bit more strength on that offensive line. And then this is where it just goes downhill. I really thought, like, round one was, oh boy, this team just does not, they just never disappoint. They really don't. Oh man, Tyler Shock, whatever his name is. This is where you would think you would take Shedeur Sanders. You would think. If you're wanting a quarterback, take Shedeur Sanders right here. No. We'll take the most inaccurate quarterback in this draft class with a high second round pick. Why not? Now there's reports that he's going to be our starting quarterback week one. If we wanted a quarterback so bad, why didn't we just pick Shedeur Sanders, the most accurate quarterback in this league or in the draft class? Now I understand there's a lot of like negative publicity around his name right now. To me, that really shouldn't be a factor. Honestly, he likes to show off. Cool, whatever, man. Do you, dude? But like, sure, he may not be the most complete quarterback. But Tyler Shock, whatever, he's not even near. He can. Dude, I watched a video from his draft combine workout or whatever. This dude couldn't even complete a pass to a slant route. What do you want me to do with that? And now there's reports that he's going to be our starting quarterback. Bro, if you wanted a starting quarterback, Spencer Rattler is right there in front of you. He has the most potential in our quarterback room right now. But no, Tyler Shock, whatever. Then we go to Vernon Broughton, who I did like this pick. It does add a lot of strength to our defensive line, and I think it's going to help out Brian Breesy a lot too. Just get a lot of those more one-on-one looks on the defensive line. I think Vernon Broughton was a very good pick here. Jonas Sanker, cool. I mean, it's another safety. Okay, he's pretty good at zone in a zone package, but dude, I'm just so mad. I'm so mad from the Tyler Shock pick. And by the way, that's how I'm going to refer to him: Tyler Shock, whatever. Then we go to Danny Stutzman, who I really like this pick. This guy is a very sneakily good middle linebacker. He's a very good pass coverage on middle linebacker too, which I think we needed that. I know Demario Davis, he's a pretty good pass coverage linebacker too. He can get back there to the running back. But I think Danny Stutzman is a more polished, more younger Demario Davis. Demario Davis is starting to get to the end of his career. We all know this. So if anything, Danny Stutzman is probably his replacement to when he finally hangs it up and walks off into the sunset. And I hope that's not anytime soon because he's still playing at a very elite level. But I really did like this pick. I think this was probably great value at this pick. Quincy Riley, I did like this pick too. Quincy Riley could be a very good coverage cornerback. He's kind of slow a little bit on like reading where the wide receiver is going to go. But if you can get him in there, develop him a little bit, just like we did with Paulson Adebo, I think he's going to fit very well with Kool-Aid McKinstry on that secondary. So I did like Quincy Riley. Another really pretty sneakily good pick is Devin Neal. I think Devin Neal coming out of Kansas got a very bad rep because of the numbers that he did. They just weren't popping off very well. But this is a very explosive type guy if you get him in the open field. He's very fast. If he's just one-on-one with you, you're probably going to miss him. But yeah, I did really like this pick. And then we just get to the fillers: Malachi Matavao or Fadil Diggs. 7th round guys that could possibly make the roster, but more than likely probably won't. All in all, I'd probably give this class a C-. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're going to be bad. We're going to be so bad. We're going to be so bad. We're still paying Derek Carr like $40+ million, dude. I'm sorry that this part was just so negative. I just don't understand this team. Like, it's almost like they don't want to compete anymore. I do think Kelvin Banks is probably going to be the best player out of this draft class. Our draft class, not the whole draft. And I don't think that's like hard to say because Tyler Shock. We're going to find out very quickly that he sucks. Spencer Rattler is probably going to take over in week 5, if we're being honest. But other than that, this has been my reaction to the New Orleans Saints draft class. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the draft class. Please don't be so hurtful. I'm already in pain. I already want next year to come. We're projected to have the number 1 pick and get Arch Manning. I would love that. Please. I guess. I don't know. Thank you all so much for watching episode 5 of the Wave Podcast. If you did like this, go ahead, subscribe, like, share it with everybody. Comment what your favorite part about the podcast was. Go follow the TikTok at the Wave Pod. Same with Instagram, the Wave Pod, and Twitter/X at the Wave Pod. I'm going to try to be more active on Twitter, but the most active I usually am on is TikTok. So make sure you look out for those videos. And yeah, I'll see you all on episode 6.